Hello students. Today we'll be doing a lesson, The Dime Detective. Okay, now pay careful attention because you have to understand the lesson very carefully. Okay. I was greatly surprised when Mrs. Hudson, Holmes' landlady, called on me one day with the news of his sickness. That is, Sherlock Holmes' sickness. He's dying, Dr. Watson. He has been sinking for 3 days, but he would not allow me to fetch a doctor. This morning, when I saw his feverish and wasted, tired, miserable face, I told him that nothing could prevent me from going to you. Fast. I rushed for my hat and my coat. We drove back and she told me all she knew about his illness. That he most probably got it at the river docks. At the docks is the place where there are many ships. He had been working there on a case. For 3 days now, he had nothing to eat or drink. Now, the setting of the play. It is in the month of November. Very cold, foggy. It was a dim, foggy November day. Who am I? I am not Sherlock Holmes. I am Dr. Watson. When I entered the room, I saw Holmes's eyes were bright with fever. He had fever. And his thin hands on the coverlet twitched. All the time, his voice was just a croak, making croaking sound. A gleam, a light of recognition when he saw me. Wow, Dr. Watson, like that, came into his eyes when he saw me. I made an approach, came closer to his bed. He cried out, "Stand back! Stand back! If you come near me, I shall order you out of the house." His voice softened, became soft, as he continued, "It is for your own good sake. Stand back, Watson. I know this disease. It is the Collie disease from Sumatra. It is extremely dangerous and horribly contagious. That means you can also get it. So please don't come near me." I said, "Holmes, do you think I would let you stand in this my way for an instant? I will not allow you to be like this, such a miserable condition you are in. Whether you like it or not, I will examine your symptoms. I'll check you and treat you for them. I'll give you medicines." Then he answered, "Sherlock Holmes, you mean well, my friend. You mean well, my friend. But you know nothing about these Eastern diseases. How can you help me?" Then I said, "I'll fetch Dr. Ainstree, the greatest living authority, the best doctor on tropical diseases, who knows everything, and he will cure you." And I marched towards the door. When I went towards the door, I heard him speak. I want to tell you something. Never have I had such a shock when I went towards the door in an instant at once. When I was going towards the door, the dying man. Who's the dying man? Sherlock Holmes. He sprang up, he got up, and I heard the key turn in the lock. The next moment, he staggered back, exhausted. He was back, panting, breathing heavily. Then he said, Watson, Watson, I will listen to you, but on two conditions. It is 4 o'clock now. At 6 o'clock, remember, 6 o'clock, you can fetch me a doctor, but not Eins 3, but the one I choose. I don't want Eins 3. I looked at him and I said, this is insanity. This is ridiculous. I mean, he's the best doctor. I protested. But he was not to be dissuaded. He was not willing. And I had to agree. I said, okay, tell me which doctor. I was not able to understand the meaning of all this. And I walked about the room. I saw Holmes appeared to be asleep. I saw a small black box. Small black and white ivory box, black and white box. With a sliding lid, it opens and closes. It was just near his side table. I stretched my hand to examine it, to look at it carefully. And when I came close, Holmes gave a dreadful yell. He screamed, "Put that down, put that down." Instantly, he screamed at me. You know, Watson, you know I hate to have my things touched. I don't like anybody touching my things. Don't touch that black and white ivory box. I don't know why he behaved like that. This strange of violence is anger. So unlike my friend. He's not like my friend. My friend Sherlock Holmes, such a nice person. Left me dejected. I felt very sad. Then after some time, he grew quiet once more and requested me to light the gas. I took and I lit the gas. Then he told me, not more than half on. Don't make the gas too much. Mind you, not full. Please put some letters and papers in this table. Put some letters within my reach. I picked up and gave it to him. Thank you. And pick up that ivory box with these tongs, not with your hands, with the tong. Tong is like you have something to catch on. Okay, it's like a fork. With the tongs, and place it, keep it among my papers. Good. Now you can go and go and call Mr. Culverton Smith. See, he wanted me to call Mr. Culverton Smith of 13 Lower Burke Street. He's not a doctor, but a planter. But he's the best, worst in this disease. He knows everything about the disease. There was an outbreak of it, that disease, on his plantation, caused him to study it. He understood how the disease came. Then he continued, Sherlock Holmes. He said, but I know he will not be in his study before 6 o'clock. Before 6 o'clock, he won't be in his study room. Hence, my request to you is to wait till then. Please tell him. Tell him what you have seen, me. A dying man. A delirious man, miserable condition. Plead, request him to come. I know he has a grudge. He does not like me. He is revengeful. He hates me against me. Get him here. You know why he does not like me? For I suspected him. Who's the him? Mr. Culverton Smith. I suspected him of foul play, of doing something wrong. When his nephew died, I accused him. I suspected him of killing his nephew. Beg him, please. Get him here by any means. Only he can save me. I saw his voice seemed to break. And make sure you return here before him. You must not come alone. Come with Mr. Culverton Smith. Don't fail me. Don't fail me now, my friend. And to my great distress, I was shocked. He went on to babble, blah, 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 blah. Deliriously of oysters. He started talking oysters, these oysters, that oyster, this oyster. Mrs. Hudson waited. She was trembling and weeping from outside. As I looked for a cab, taxi! An old acquaintance, one old friend of mine, Inspector Morton of Scotland Yard, came up. Hi, how are you? And he asked me about Sherlock Holmes. Then I said, he's very ill. Had it not been too horrible, he would have been horrible. I could have imagined that his face showed happiness at my words. When I spoke to him, he was happy, but actually he was sick. The cab arrived, the taxi came. Soon after, I found myself outside a fine house in Lower Burke Street. I knocked at the door. A butler is a cook, one who lives and works in the kitchen. He opened the door and took my card. Through the half-open door. The door was not opened. Then I heard a high and bad-tempered voice saying, "Who is that person? I won't see him. Tell him I am not at home." I thought of Sherlock Holmes, close to death, counting the minutes, counting when my time will come up. To perhaps, until I should bring help to him, I must bring him help. This was not a time to stand on ceremony. I'm not going to stand and wait for him to come. I pushed my way, past the butler, and went inside Mr. Smith's room. What is this? How dare you come in? Cried the man inside. I looked at him. He was a most strange looking figure. A huge skull and sullen, puffed up. Menacing eyes, big eyes. Ill, with almost dwarfish, he was like a dwarf. short man, twisted body, like that. Then I said, I'm sorry, but Mr. Sherlock Holmes, when that man heard the name Sherlock Holmes, Smith's features, his face became tense. He became alert. And he motioned me, told me to sit down. I sat down and I told him how Sherlock Holmes, was desperately ill. And he had fetched me, sent me to fetch him, bring him. I could have sworn, I promise, that at my words, a malicious, I saw his face, malicious revenge. I'll take revenge. An unpleasant smile came over his face. Yet, he didn't show me. His concern for Holmes seemed genuine. He was interested in Sherlock Holmes. Why? Because he heard that Sherlock Holmes had got the disease from working. He was working among Chinese sailors down in the docks where the ships are. And that he was delirious. He came to know that Sherlock Holmes was delirious, was suffering with fever. He agreed. All right, I'll come. But I remembered Holmes' request. And I said, I had another appointment. Very good. I shall be by his side. I'll come. Within half an hour. At the most, latest by half an hour I will come there. Tell him. He promised me. Thank God. He agreed. To my relief, enormous relief, Holmes had improved greatly in the interval, in this gap of half an hour. He still looked as ghastly, like a ghost, as ever. But he was no longer babbling, blah, 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 blah. No. Nonsense. His voice, too, was clever, though feeble, weak. I must wait and hear his opinion. Sherlock Holmes. Then he said, Of course, but I think his opinion would be more frank, would be more open and valuable if he thinks he and I, are alone. So, I'm telling you, perhaps you hide yourself. You hide yourself behind the head of my bed. Go, Watson. I told him. Hide? My dear Sherlock Holmes. Shh! There is no time to argue. Quick, man, quick, hide. I can hear the sounds of wheels. Wheels. A vehicle is coming. And no matter whatever happens, don't speak. You keep quiet or move. Just listen attentively. Okay, I went. I had hardly hidden myself when the door opened and then closed after the visitor. Then it was silent. There was a long silence. The silence was broken only by the heavy breathing and gasps. Who's breathing? Who's gasping? Sherlock Holmes. Finally, Sherlock Holmes spoke. Is that you, Mr. Smith? Our visitor, that man, sniggered. Do you know what's wrong with you, Mr. Holmes? He said. Only you too well. My friend groaned. Please, you know what is wrong with me. Do what you can for me. I swear I'll forget about Victor Savage's death. Victor Savage was that man's nephew. You, as good as admitted that you have done it, only help me. Please, please help me. I'll forget about it. I will forget about Victor Savage's death. That man laughed and he said, you will never live to stand in the witness box. You want to speak against me? You will never live to stand in the witness box against me. Holmes, you think you are smart, don't you? I will tell you how you got this disease. Then Holmes said, I am too ill to think. Give me something. Give me something to eat, to ease my pain, to make my pain less. Then that man said, do you remember a box? An ivory box, black ivory box, black and ivory box that came in the post, that came in a parcel? You opened it. You opened it. There was a sharp spring inside it. Then I said, yes, I'm who? Sherlock Holmes. Yes, I remember. It was no joke. I thought it was some kind of joke. No joke. You fool. Who asked you to cross my path? Why did you try to act smart with me? If you had left alone that box, I would not have hurt you. If you had let alone by not speaking against me, you spoke against me, I would have not hurt you. Then Holmes said, I remember the spring when I opened the box, drew blood, took blood from me. That box on the table. Yes. This box I will take with me, if you please. And there goes your last shred, your last string of evidence. No evidence, no witness, no proof. You can die. You can die with the knowledge that I killed you. You can tell everybody, but nobody will be there. You knew too much, nah? You knew too much about my nephew, the fate of my nephew. You knew that I had killed him. Now you can share it. You can tell everybody, go ahead, if you live. Then Holmes answered, whispering very softly, Sir, turn up the gas. Turn up the gas? Yes, I will turn it. Made it more bright. And I will sit here to watch you die. Is there anything I can get for you? You want something? A match? A cigar? I nearly betrayed myself in my joyful surprise. I got surprised because I heard Holmes's voice became normal. Holmes was speaking in his natural voice. Then Smith, that man, he asked, "Hey, what is the meaning of this?" He was astonished at the sudden change of my friend. And I also was astonished. I was wondering, when Holmes was sick, he became all right. "Hello? Hello?" Holmes called out. "Please come in, my friend." The door opened. An Inspector Morton appeared. "I arrest you," he told Mr. Culverton. "I arrest you in the charge of the murder of one Victor Savage." And he said, and he advanced towards Smith, "Your prisoner has a box which might be of some use in the trial, Inspector," Sherlock Holmes said. "It was most kind of him to give a signal by turning up the gas, because when he turned the gas, that was a signal to the inspector to come." The man tried to run. "Hey, hey! Stand still, stand still." He was handcuffed. Then he was handcuffed. "Stand still, will you?" said the inspector. Then Smith said, "A nice trap, a nice trap." He was very angry. Holmes can invent what he likes. My word is as good as his. "Good heavens," cried Holmes. "I've totally forgotten my witness." Hooray! To the confusion, "Watson, come out, you're hiding, come out. Forgive me, I don't think I need to introduce you. This is Mr. Smith. You met him, no, earlier in the day? I understand. And now, Inspector, take him. Take him. All I need a few minutes to be ready. I'm also coming. Wait, I'm coming. To accompany you to the police station." Before that, we had some tea, and then changing into a fresh set of clothes. And then there's nothing like that. Like a color on the cheek, his cheeks were nice, bright, like belladonna, sparkling. In the eyes, that one made look just now, before some time he was looking feverish, now he's looking fine. It was the utmost important to convince you. If you look at him, it looks feverish. His face looked feverish, but now he was fine. For you are no good at hiding your feelings. If you had shared my secret, you would have never been able to impress Smith, Sherlock Holmes told me. With the urgency, I know, so nicely you went and called him. Necessity of his presence, you told that he had to come here. I dare not let you examine me. I knew if you examine me, you know I am not sick. Can you imagine? A feverish dying man with no rise in pulse, no fever. You're a doctor, so you would have caught me. That's why I said, don't come near me. One minute, slowly. Be careful with that box. Watson, don't touch it. It has a sharp spring. I dare say it was a similar one that Smith used that same type of box to kill Savage, his nephew. As for me, I am always on my guard. I am very smart. Against any package which comes to me, I am smart. I'll not allow it. And it was clear, I understood. However, that by pretending that Smith had really succeeded in his design, I knew Smith thought he was successful in his plan. So I made a trick and made him confess that he had killed his nephew, Savage. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Watson, for helping me to do so. And that brings us to the end of the story. Okay? So you understood? So main characters and how Dr. Watson, who gets fooled by his own friend. Okay? Read through the lesson. You'll come to know every detail nicely. Okay? Have a nice time. Bye-bye. Take care.